Ellie Miller had always been one to stand out, especially in the world of private investigators. With her quick wit, sharp tongue, and keen mind, she had earned a reputation for solving cases that stumped even the most seasoned detectives. Despite her sarcastic demeanor, she had made an unlikely friend in Fox Jones, a grumpy but smart police officer who shared her passion for justice. They had worked together on a couple of cases, each time finding that their individual strengths complemented each other well, even if they couldn't always see eye to eye on everything. Their bond was growing stronger, and though neither would admit it, they enjoyed each other's company more than they ever thought possible. It was a chilly November morning when they were called to the scene of a bank robbery. The local police department had hit a dead end, and the chief of police, knowing of their prior success together, decided to pair Ellie and Fox on the case. As they approached the crime scene, Fox couldn't help but roll his eyes at Ellie's sarcastic remark about the early hour. "You know, Miller, if you were a morning person, you'd have a much sunnier disposition," he grumbled. Ellie chuckled and retorted, "Oh, Jones, you know you love me just the way I am." She flashed a grin at him before ducking under the yellow police tape and heading into the bank. Inside, the scene was chaotic. Detectives and forensic analysts were hard at work, trying to piece together what had happened. Ellie and Fox were briefed on the situation by the lead detective, who informed them that the robbery had been executed with military precision, leaving no fingerprints or other physical evidence behind. The robbers had vanished without a trace, taking with them a considerable sum of money. Chapter 2. The High School Connection. Ellie and Fox spent the following days meticulously combing through the bank's security footage, witness statements, and any other available information. It was during this time that they discovered an unusual connection. All of the witnesses reported seeing a group of high school students loitering near the bank just before the robbery. While this in itself wasn't necessarily suspicious, the frequency of the sightings piqued their interest. They decided to visit the local high school and speak with the principal, hoping to gain some insight into the students who had been seen nearby. The principal was cooperative, but initially offered little in the way of useful information. However, when Ellie mentioned the unusual precision of the robbery, the principal's expression changed. He told them of a group of students who had recently taken an interest in military history and tactics, forming a sort of unofficial club. While he didn't have any reason to believe they were involved in criminal activity, he agreed to provide the investigators with a list of the students' names. Armed with this new lead, Ellie and Fox began to dig deeper into the lives of these teens. Chapter 3. Unraveling the Truth. Over the next few weeks, Ellie and Fox interviewed the students, their teachers, and their families. They attended school events, trying to blend in and observe the teens as they interacted with each other. Slowly, a picture began to emerge of a tight-knit group who felt disconnected from the rest of their peers, seeking solace in their shared interest in military tactics. Suspicion grew as they discovered that one of the students, a boy named Michael, had a father who worked as a security consultant for the bank that had been robbed. Michael and his friends had access to inside information about the bank's layout and security measures, information that could have been invaluable to anyone planning a robbery. As they gathered more evidence, it became increasingly clear that the group had been involved in the heist. The students had used their knowledge of military tactics to plan and execute the robbery, and had then returned to their normal lives, hiding in plain sight. Chapter 4. Confrontation and Confession. With the evidence mounting against the teens, Ellie and Fox decided it was time to confront them. They arranged for a meeting with the students and their families, informing them of their suspicions and presenting the evidence they had collected. The teens initially denied any involvement, but as the weight of the evidence bore down on them, cracks began to appear in their stories. One by one, they broke down, confessing to their roles in the robbery and revealing the location of the stolen money. The group had been motivated by a desire to prove their intelligence and capabilities, as well as a resentment towards their privileged classmates who seemed to have everything handed to them on a silver platter. In the end, they had let their ambitions blind them to the consequences of their actions. Chapter 5. Justice and Redemption. The teens were arrested and charged for their roles in the robbery. As they faced the ramifications of their actions, they came to understand the gravity of their crimes and expressed remorse for the pain they had caused. Ellie and Fox, having solved yet another case together, found themselves reflecting on the unlikely friendship they had formed. They had learned to appreciate each other's strengths and to rely on one another in times of need. As they walked away from the high school, a sense of satisfaction washed over them, not just from having solved the case, but from knowing they had done so together. The story of Ellie Miller and Fox Jones, the sarcastic private investigator and the grumpy cop, had become a testament to the power of friendship, teamwork, and the pursuit of justice. And as they moved on to their next case, they did so knowing that they had each other's backs, no matter what challenges lay ahead.